Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. I'm having a survival project right now. The power went out, so my heat's gone. So I'm bundled up in my sleeping bags. I got it. I had, like, if I'd have known it was going to happen, I could have planned it a little bit better. But my feet had gotten a little bit cold, and so I just jumped in the big bag, and I didn't have time to do what I would have normally done. I got a little bag. This one, the one I've been using, it's like a 45-degree summer bag, and I like them. They're lead. Both of these are ledge, LEDGE, ledge from Utah, um, ledge sports, and they're good bags. They're not the best out there, but I like them because they're durable. They're pretty well made. The little one I actually have loved. It balls up to about the size of a soccer ball, smaller than a soccer ball when it's in this little bag and scrunched down and compressed down. About the size of a soccer ball, a little bit less than that. Anyway, the big one I can't hardly get on my bed because it's so huge. It's monstrous, and I got it because it was an oversized one. I could put another sleeping bag in and get in it. So I would have done that. I would have gotten in my little one, then gotten in the big one, or gotten in the little one inside of the big one. But I didn't have time to it, so I'm just kind of using the little one to cover up my chest area and keep it from getting too cold. You got to keep your body core warm. That's survival rule number one. No, number one rule of survival is be where you are. He created a organization called WISE, WISE, Wilderness Institute of Survival Experience. Wilderness Institute of Survival Experience, I think, WISE, WISE. And this guy was paid $500 a day to go out on search and rescue missions in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado with chopper. Nine News had the best chopper around, so they would always go out. Their chopper pilot was good, probably Vietnam vet or something, but they would take him out. He was paid $500 a day per diem, plus food and expenses, everything else on top of that. But his per diem was $500 a day. So he would go out, and a lot of times they found people dead because they were stupid. They didn't know enough to stay by the vehicle, stay by their camp, or stay by the whatever, and they get lost, or they think they had thought they had to eat, so they'd kill themselves trying to find something to eat. The number one problem with survival is shelter. It is not food. It is not water. You can stay alive for 3 weeks with no food. Most people can. I could. You can stay alive for 3 days with no water. You can stay alive 3 hours with no shelter. So you got to have shelter. That's number one rule of survival is shelter. What's your number one rule? That's the number one thing you need. They need the air every 3 minutes. So within 3 minutes, you need air, and within 3 seconds, you need hope. So hope's number one, air's number two, water or shelter's number three, water's number four, and food is number five. Okay, so get that out of the way and just get that beat into your head. Beat it into your head. You got to have hope. You got to have your head where your body's at. Your head has got to be where your body's at. You got to be where you are at. That is Bob Whitmore's number one rule of survival. Be where you are at. You get lost, sit down. Don't move. Don't go anywhere. Don't panic. Do not panic. Do not panic. That's why you have to be where you're at. Your head has got to be where your body's at. First thing you do is just sit down and think. What do I have in my pockets? What do I have in my backpack? What do I have in my butt pack? What do I have in my car? Don't leave the car. Do not leave where you got lost. Do not leave where you work your campsite. Do not leave where you got lost. Do not leave where you got lost. Do not leave where you got lost. Do not leave where you got in an accident. Do not leave there. That's the easiest place to find is a car. They have a very hard time finding a person, A hunter got lost over not too far from here, brought over by my home farm. Old boy, about 80 years old. They were concerned. They had choppers out. They had, chopper with infrared, supposedly signature. A bunch of hunters out looking for him. He had walked away from his vehicle, his camp, and got about 2 or 3 miles away. And he said that chopper was worthless. He said I was laying out in the field and waving at them. They couldn't see me. So anyway, he survived the night, but it was stupid that he had walked away from his campsite, his vehicle, wherever he got first lost at. So be where you are at. And I asked Bill one time here. He lived in Alaska, and he's been in some pretty brutal experiences. I said, what would you say is the most important thing about survival? He said, you've got to have your head where your body's at. And that's exactly what Bob Whitmore said. Be where you are at. You've got to force your brain to be where your body is, because your body's going to die if your brain isn't smart enough to keep you alive. And if a lot of people are not smart enough to keep themselves alive in an emergency situation because they panic. Panic kills. Panic kills. Panic kills. Don't panic. And this kept me alive. My wife and I and my children. I would not be here. My wife would not be around. My children would not be around. I wouldn't have. I would have had. I had two. We had two children at the time. We carried them out in a snowstorm, a blizzard. The snow was going sideways, and we walked for 6 hours. We dug for 3 hours. We got up in the Rockies. Look up Weston Pass Road in the Rockies. We were up there looking for a cave. Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, boo. Volkswagen, I'm driving on snowpack, no big deal. Bugs are great on traction. I knew how to drive it. It was all the way on the rear end, makes some really good traction, and I had good tires on it. So we're driving along until all of a sudden, boom, dropped through the snow. We were not on 3 inches of packed snow. We were on 3 feet of deep packed snow, and I couldn't. Once your drop through, you can't get out. So we dug for 3 hours, walked for 6 hours, got it to the place midnight, and in a snowstorm, in a blizzard, sideways blizzard. And if it had not been for Bob Whitmore's teaching, we would be dead. We would have, one of them, both of us would have panicked. And as it was, we stayed calm. We walked, we hiked. My daughter the whole time was like, "Are we lost? Are we gonna die? Am I gonna freeze to death? My feet are cold." Ian slept through the whole thing. It was just so funny. He always sleeps through our survival experiences. So that was one of them that he first one he slept through. The second one was in a few years later in a tent when it was 30 below, and my daughters and I both, our teeth were chattering. We got having hypothermia. Anyway, tonight's interesting survival experience. Ian's not here. I'm sure he's sound asleep. I don't know where Anna's at, but she's probably sound asleep too, in a nice comfy bed with her husband or one of her babies. Anyway, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Bob Whitmore. Let me tell you that. So, a couple projects I got going is I want to do this, and when I was on earlier tonight, I meant to say, look, I've been talking about helping people. Okay, that's all I've ever done for 20 years. I've bought things and designed things and invented things, brainstorm things. I go to the nth degree to study things and work out the best way to do them. Okay, so I just did a playlist tonight. I uploaded it. It's on the video earlier. I'll reduplicate it for this one. It's survival shelters and whatnot. That's one of the main focuses at the moment. And you can make a greenhouse. You can make a cabin. You can make and there's all different kinds of ones there. There's a one with the guy makes tables and chairs and lampstands and makes a lamp out of wood, and just really cool stuff. They made a full blown floor. They want to make a real cabin. Him and his brother and a friend, just really good friend. They put slapped this thing together, just amazing. Did a good job of it. But there's some brilliant things on a lot of them. One of the most inventive, most genius people that I want to highly recommend this guy is Advoko Makes. He's a lawyer. He's in Russia, and he is a genius. I mean, genius. Think outside the box. Genius level inventor and designer. He built a water wheel. Okay, he built an igloo out of shrink wrap. He built a kayak out of shrink wrap and took it out and go fishing with it. He designed and invented his own grip clips. Look up grip clips. Shelter Systems grip clips. They're one of the most phenomenal closure systems in the world. He makes his own. So he sewed up a kayak just like they do. They make a kayak out of blue tarp, and he made a kayak out of blue tarp. And then he did one out of shrink wrap so you could see the fish through the bottom of it. And then he did one out of a lot better material. It's like a sil nylon or something, really lightweight, super strong material. So he has instructions for how to do that. You could get that marine plastic that they cover boats with when you drive by a boat yard and you see all these boats covered with really shiny, perfectly clear, clean plastic. It's a real heavy plastic, and they put on with heat, and it shrink wraps it. So you could make a kayak out of that and heat shrink it on. It would look so cool. It would look awesome. You could do double layer of it even and make it super strong, So anyway, I'm just brainstorming and talking about a lot of things because I want to get some ideas out there. One of them is I wanted to get back on tonight since I'm just laying here and trying to keep warm and whatnot, is that I would appreciate it if one of the things I talked about earlier in the last couple of nights is the idea that the Lord is going to help people who are willing to help other people. Those are the people who are going to survive this whole thing. If people are selfish, they're not going to make it. I'm kidding you not. You're not going to make it. If you're selfish and you don't want to help anybody, you are not going to survive. If you want to be selfish and sit there and on your mountain of goodies and your chainsaws and your quads, your tractors, and all your gear and stuff, and your gold and your silver and your AK-47, and all your bullets and ammo and your guns and your SKSs and your sniper rifle and your AR-15, whatever. You got all that stuff together and you're not going to share with anybody. You are dead. You're a walking dead person. Dead man, dead woman. I don't care what you are, what persuasion you are, what religion you are, you're dead, man. You're dead. You will not survive. There's no way in hell you survive because you're going to be selfish. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to die by suicide. You're going to die by stupidity. You're going to die by selfishness. Selfishness will kill people. All right. So what I'm getting at here is that I thought about this for a while. I'm not just throwing this out there, but not something new idea. But the Bible says that the ox do not muzzle the ox that treads the grain. Well, I've been working for 20 years at my own expense. It's cost me a lot, not just money, but it's cost me a lot of my life. I mean, that's why I'm in the shape I am right now, because I've been pushing so hard to do things, to get things done. I don't, one friend recently said, wonder what people did before they had their phones to play with. I said, I don't ever play on my phone. I don't ever play a game on my phone. I don't do anything. I don't play cards. I don't play chess. I don't play games. I don't play games about anything. I'm playing games with people's lives. And some of you listening to me right now, your lives are in my hands, basically. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to keep you alive. So please contribute. I'm just saying, I want to get some projects done. I want to get this shrink wrap shelter done. I want to do video of it. I want to show people how to do it exactly so they can do it. You got to have a roll of shrink wrap in your car and have a shelter built up and a fire. You can build a fire outside the shelter. Both two people have said this, so I believe it's true, and I'm going to try it. I don't really want to try it because I want to build a stove inside, number one. But they say you can have a fire outside, and the heat will penetrate, and then the plastic will hold it really well, especially if you have a round shelter. A teepee or a yurt shape or a geodesic dome shape will hold the heat really, really well, and you don't have to have the fire inside. Okay, so that's no big deal because you can have a fire inside anyway. You can have it Dakota Fire Hall rocket stove. That's another thing I want to do. I've got some of the stuff to do that with already, and I want if people will contribute, I'll get some of these projects going. Get rocking and rolling on these things. But I want $80. I want to buy a roll of. I'll do it myself. I don't care if anybody helps me or not. So someday, as soon as I can, I'll get it. A roll of fiber, landscaping fabric for making grow bags out of. Because once I get a little greenhouse, a little shrink wrap thing done, I'm gonna start plants in. I'll have a little greenhouse going. You'll be able to watch that and see that going on. So I'm gonna make grow bags and plants in them. Have some food growing, microgreens, herbs, whatever. Microgreens, in other words, are like, instead of sprouting, you let them grow a little bit bigger, and then you harvest them. You can juice it and drink it, eat the leaves or whatever, but you don't let them grow as much. It basically, somewhere between sprouting and full-born thing is what it is. Look it up. It's a brilliant way to grow stuff and have very super high nutritional value. You talk about nutrient-dense food, that's it. Microgreens are nutrient-dense food. So wheatgrass, same idea. So, okay, so, I'm just saying, my PayPal is my email address, dmnds2001 @yahoo.com. That's Delta Mike November Delta Sierra 2001 @yahoo.com. Basically diamonds. The whole bunch of us are diamonds. I got 17 or 18, 20 diamonds around between my wife, kids, and grandchildren. Probably more than that. 21, 22. I don't know. I'll add it up someday. Anyway. Okay, so, but yeah, so it's like diamonds plural with no vowels, like Hebrew. You take out the vowels. DMNDS, demons, diamonds, plural, no vowels. 2000, the number 2001 @yahoo.com. That's my PayPal address. If you can help me out a little bit. So, this is what we got to do. We got to start helping each other. And when we start doing this, you're going to see things just escalate. You're going to see miracles happening in your life, and I'll see more miracles happening. But I've seen so many amazing things happen and so many miracles. It's mind-boggling. I started calling my 100 bunny trail story and realized, no, it's 1,000 bunny trail story. Nope, it's a never-ending bunny trail story. It's an eternal bunny trail story, because I got to tell so many things that say, oh, I got to go back to that. I got to tell, oh, this has gone full circle. I helped this person get out of Springfield, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. Oh, that goes back to the first person that gave me that first $100. Oh, it's just so amazing. It's so amazing, so amazing, so exciting to think about all the things that have happened. I mean, one time my son and I were at a millionaire's house. We were literally a millionaire. They were they had pictures of themselves in the White House with Dan Quayle and Ronald Reagan. Okay, back in that era, and they were the biggest, huge donator to the Republican Party. And about ready to leave, and this woman puts her hand out toward my head and doesn't touch me, but she puts her hand out and says, "You will not be living in that schoolhouse in the end times. You'll be living closer to the earth than you ever thought possible." And I thought, in about a half a second, I thought, I have two teepees, and that's all the scientific amazing things about them, the potential and the weird things about them. And I thought, if I literally thought in about a half a second, I thought, and if I were living any closer to the earth, I'd have to be living inside the earth. Poof! And about a month later, I'm standing in a cob house, 3 foot thick walls, cob floor, earth floor, earth walls, and earth roof. My daughter planted strawberries on the top of the roof, on the roof. I sat there and I looked down, I looked up, and I looked at the walls, and I went, I am living inside the earth. Wow. It's just, sheesh. I don't say words like unbelievable or incredible, because incredible means unbelievable. Credible means belief, right? So incredible means unbelievable. So I don't say things. I never say those words. I never use those words. No, it's very, very believable. But what's the chance of this happening with man? 0. What's the chance of it happening with God? 100%. So you can't make this stuff up. It's just too weird. So God does amazing things. So anyway, oh, that's what's the problem with it. Oh, my little pillow down here. There we go. There we go. Well, that thing's harder than rock now. Normally it's kind of soft, but it's hard. Ooh, man. Okay, so anyway, I want to, I'm so excited about these things. I want to get rolling on them. I got the shrink wrap coming. I ordered that today because a sister, thank you, Deb, sent me a donation. So I put that to use immediately. I've already spent it, all of it. So, but I'm chomping at the bit to do some other things too. I want to get the Dakota fire hole thing done. I wish I had the loader here still, but I'm just gonna have to do what I can do. My son had a skid loader here for a while, and if I could have had it for just a few more hours, I would have had a lot done. On my plan for that, I got a lot of plans for that. But I'll go someplace in the forest. I'm gonna build the shelter thing. I want to build one out here for, greenhouse, little shrink wrap greenhouse. Now here's the issue: is I don't have a vehicle, and that's a big problem. I could go right now, any day. I could go over and get a bunch of bamboo and build a shelter, a geodesic dome greenhouse, a yurt, a teepee with bamboo. I could do a lot of things with bamboo, and I could harvest hundreds of pieces of it. Right now, I have permission to do it. And it grows like weeds. It's not forest bamboo. It is river bamboo, which is not good stuff. It dies every year, and then it rots away. But it's good. Once you harvest it, you can do it green. You can bend it. I can make saplings. I can make a yurt. I can make a whole lot of things with it. So I'd like to get some, but and I got things at my house I need to get out too. Things that will keep people alive. MMS, Miracle Mineral Solution stuff, sodium chloride. I got a whole bunch of that over there. I need to get that out. So I don't have a vehicle. That's a problem. I guess I'm asking for prayer on that. So, yeah, just excited about a lot of things. I want to get some things done because my sense is that there's a lot of people out there that need to know some things that I need to teach them. The shelters, building shelters, staying alive, just practical stuff. Get traction for your car. Keep your oil and tires and everything in good shape. Your bearings, and I went off of that earlier. I'm not going to repeat all that. Just keep your vehicle in good shape. Have your boat ready. Is a saying. The flood's coming. Have your boat ready. And that may mean literally for a lot of you a boat. Have a good boat ready. The reason you'd be wise to learn this shrink wrap thing is because you can make a kayak and get across a river real easy. Super light. You can build one in like 20 minutes, literally 20 minutes, and get across a river safely, quickly too, because they're fast. Kayaks are very light and fast. So you could take it down at rapids even. But anyway, so that's the deal, just looking for some help and appreciate that. My voice is going, so I got to get, I wish I had some hot water and I don't. It sucks. I can't just push the button. I push a button on my thing, so if the power comes back, it'll boil my water and I'll have some hot water to drink, but that ain't going to happen. I should have found by now over in the Airstream, I should have I know I bought 2 single burner propane butane stoves, and I've got the butane. I've got all the butane I need, but I got this big, ugly, grody, dirty two burner one of the burners busted, so I can't. That's not. All I'm saying is I got it right here, but the water is cold now. Water, so I'm just gonna suffer. I got a bottle in my one of these core bottles, which I think, like I said, are awesome. These things are phenomenal because they never leak. I could let this lay in here for 3 days and it would not leak a drop, ever. These things. A lot of times, just because it's more stable, the lid is flatter. I'll actually down like that, just because I know it's not going to leak. I'm not worried about it. I've never had one of them leak a drop, and I've been using them a lot. So I'm about to sit here in between the two sleeping bags. It's warming up very slowly. Hopefully it'll warm up faster than it's getting me cold. But I've got it between the two sleeping bags. So anyway, I want to get some of these projects done. I think a lot of people's lives are going to depend on it. And the thing is that once we get rolling on this, we're going to have more and more people coming in, and more things are going to happen. It's going to, if Rock is here, if Dave gets here, we're going to rock and roll. And if Jack gets here, little Jack, pray for this woman, Jack, little Jack, okay, Jacqueline. Her dad wanted a boy, so she called her Jack, little Jack, and she was a tomboy. And this woman, she's 71 years old. She's been on the roof of her trailer trying to keep it from getting soaking wet and getting ruined from the snow. Got a snow that crushed her carport, and she's just been on the verge of, just checking out of this world. She not, and there's rich people living within a half an hour of her, with 20 minutes of her, that will not help her. I just so sick, so sad, so stupid, so gross. So please pray for this woman for a miracle. um, she was a diesel mechanic, heavy equipment operator. She builds things, fixes things. She's just a genius at fixing things. I just really want to see her get over it because she will be a boon. Her and I will have so much fun because we're both crazy. We're both very intelligent, very, very nuts. She'll build things on my house. Say, here's an idea. Run with it. The shelter thing. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cool. So anyway, please help out. She needs help. She needs physical help, deeply spiritual help, because the place is so infected with Satanism and witchcraft. I don't want to send anybody over there. I would go over there in a heartbeat if I had a vehicle. Then again, I may not go over there because I don't know if I could stand up to the challenge of it. You got to be a tough guy. I mean, I could go in, yeah, me, I'm John Wayne type thing, but no, that you need to be ready to do some spiritual warfare too. So anyway, I would go over there if I had a vehicle. I would, or such, seriously. I'm trying to find her a wick for her heater just so she can keep warm, because she has this big heater that she has to. It gets too hot and then has to turn it off. It gets cold, heat it up, get it hot. Her little one will run a lot further, a lot longer on a lot less kerosene. So she needs a wick for it, and I'm trying to find her one on eBay. So anyway, the meth heads there, the Satanists, they put water in her fuel, they put gasoline in her fuel. They're trying to kill her basically. So please pray for her to stay alive. Please pray for her to, stay sane and stay, safe. So, and any money would help out a lot. I mean, sizable amount of money would help her. Need to get her out of there. I want her out of there like yesterday, but it's not going to help without help. I mean, she keeps banging away at it, but then they steal her tools, they steal her screws, they steal her bolts, they steal everything. They stole her car, they killed her cats. It's just really a sick, satanically sick situation. So really pray for her. Pray against the enemies there. All right, I'm about done for. So good night. Whoever you are out there, hello there. Hello and goodbye. Let's see who's on here. Anybody? Nobody's on? Oh, come on. Oh, I blinked up. Bless everybody, and just pray that this message gets out there. We need to. The thing is that this prophecy, and I believe this is going to be true, that this woman said, I linked it on my last night's video, that in the coming hard times, those who have been unselfish and who've given, who support ministries, or be the ones that will be protected. And that dovetails exactly with I see the future. The chapter 4 in the book, There Is No Death. She said the people that survived the zombie apocalypse, she doesn't call it zombie apocalypse, but it's exactly what she describes. She saw hordes of people, millions of people flooding out of the cities and just killing. And that's exactly what is going to happen, I believe, totally. I told you about Nathan Leal, and I linked his website on there last night. Earlier on this one, my thing earlier, I linked it on there. Try not to use up my flashlight too soon. I linked it on there earlier tonight. So Nathan Leal, Watchman's Cry. I find the page on his website if it's still up, but he said that once upon a time, this was years ago, he said that the dreams and visions that he has personally had have been so horrific that he said, if you watch the movie World War Z with Brad Pitt, that's exactly what he's seen in his dreams and experienced in his dreams and visions. I'm talking visions where you wake up, like sweating, sheets are soaking wet because you've been under such stress and strain and such horrific things that happened. Those are the kind of visions this guy's had, and he said World War Z is what he's experienced in his dreams and visions. So get a clue, watch that movie. I'm serious, get that movie and watch it. Because, and it's all tied up with germs and biological warfare and stuff. That's exactly what we have going on, people. That's what the whole stinking scamdemic's about. Okay, that's what it's about. And so just watch that movie. You get a clue. Wake up to the whole reality of what's happening, and do something to prevent it. Number one, get out of the cities. Number two, get out of the cities. Number three, get out of the cities. No, number one, get out of the cities. Number two, get west of the Mississippi. Number three, get south. Number five, get east of the Grand, Brown, Mars, Edison, A. Just get over here into the Ozark Plateau. Okay, be safe, be blessed, and be loved. We'll have boldness, we'll have fun, we'll have joy, we'll have fun, we'll have seasons in the sun. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be. I'm just excited as I'll get out because what I see happening is gonna be, see, I've spent my whole life, 40 years of my life since 1980, for getting ready for this point in time. So, and it's cost me a lot. Okay, it's cost me my family. It's cost me, a lot. Most of my life, literally most of my life. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop doing it because I'm so. I called Michael Stockinger one time and I said, I'm thinking about quitting. And he goes, don't quit. He says, if you quit, it'll kill you. It'll literally kill you. You will die. He said, you've invested too much of your life in this. He said, it's 20 years, 2 decades of your life. I said, yep. He says, well, just don't quit. Just die with your boots on. Keep working. You die when you'll die when the Lord's ready to take you, basically. So that's what I'm going to do. But the thing is that I have despised and hated this plastic, phony, godless world that we live in. And I see my friends, enjoying it and, having fun and doing these things and, just playing games and all this crap. I don't know. That's not me. I'm sorry. I'm playing games with people's lives. If you want to call it games, then I'm playing. Okay, I'm playing with your life and my friend's life, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. I realize that. There's several people right now who have turned against me, and I consider their lives forfeit. I pray for them that they'll stay alive because I believe God's judgment's coming on some people, and they're doing really stupid things for the other one after the other one after the other, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that much longer. Judgment is coming, and judgment begins in the household of God. That is what the scripture says, and I believe that's going to be true. And I'm not necessarily saying the judgment is going to bring death, but it's going to bring a waking up, wake up call. And when you wake up, you're going, oh my God, I've been transgressing the law of God, and He's really pissed at me. Yeah, He is really pissed at you. He's really angry with you because you're selfish and you're stupid. So wake up and fly right. Wake up. Seriously. Get a clue. Let's start working together. Let's start doing things. Let's get real. My voice is gone. Okay, good night. Hallelujah. Bye-bye. Anybody out there, one person out there, say hi. Let me know who you are. Nope. Don't want to talk? Okay, fine. All right, well, good night. All right, I'm going to sign off here. Some help. Give me some.